129. And you start with me as I'm actually currently doing some gaming. Open the blinds here. I'm gonna get a drink. First little bit of this, I'm just gonna finish this game that I'm playing, and then we'll get into it. So yeah, but that we're gonna be shooting for. I'm gonna try and go for 2 hours. Alright, I am back. So, that's pretty much kind of what we're going to be doing. We're planning to continue the organisation of the shelves. Now, as far as where we're at, right, I cleared all the stuff on the bottom of this main shelf here that wasn't, meant to be on it. I do need to fix those episode 1 sets, which basically just the pod racers. So we'll get those fixed. That is pretty much like the main thing we're going to do once I'm done here. As far as additional things go, there's a couple things we could do realistically, right? We could start on the corner Ivar shelf. Though, I may wait until Saturday. I've got my reasoning, I'll explain maybe later, or in a community post, but I'm thinking maybe Saturday might be the way to wait on that one. Or we go do the back shelf behind me for the 100th time. Then again, I say behind me, like over that way. No, because normally you guys are sitting on those shelves there. Because I need to reorganise those now that I've bought more things and done things. So, there is that. I'm going to do this next level in this game I'm doing, and then we'll go from there. That's a bit dusty. By the way, the volume for this is off, just to prevent copyright claims. Because it can be an issue. But yeah, I'll do the next level of this. The game I've been replaying because I've been replaying. Hey there, Scooter. I've been replaying the Lego Movie video game lately, so that's kind of what I'm playing right now. I'm gonna do this level while I'll wait for people to get joined in and stuff like that, and then we'll go from there. But I'm planning to actually get, a semi-decent live stream tonight. It's been a while since I've done one that's really been an hour or longer. At least I think it's been a while. It kind of feels like it has. But, I will find out soon enough. Just breaking random things in public here. Honestly, I've not been streaming as much, and they've been very short streams, so that probably would be part of the reason as well. I've not been making long ones. Only Unikitty can smash rainbow objects. Okay. But yeah, I'm playing through this level just now. I'll show you the game in case anyone's curious. Obviously, I can't hold up. I've not yet found the laptop charger. I'm hoping we'll find that over the next week or so. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I've just been replaying some of the Lego games I never played that much. I did play this one when it came out in 2014. There's some rules on the wall here. No eating flowers. Oh, come on, man. Why not? Goddamn rules are everywhere. Well, this game's great, by the way, for like gamer score and stuff like that. Because like 20 points minimum achievement per 20 points minimum per achievement, so it works out quite well. But we'll do this for I'll do this level. I guess people with an opportunity to join in as I consider the game plan and stuff like that as well. Next episode's 130. That's crazy. Right, I gotta take out them swap peoples. I remember they had the collectible CMF line based off this game. And it's something I have considered a couple times going back and buying. Like, the Lego Movie did was weird, granted. It had some cool sets and stuff that went along with it. So, going random email here. No, whatever. Right. Let's start doing this. Violence! It's a Lego game. Right. But, yeah, how's everyone's Tuesday going? By the way, by either tonight or tomorrow, the video that I filmed over the weekend will go up. That will be available to watch, so that'll be great. Use the laser on gold object. Let's go. Yay, more of the SWAT people. Like the war business robots. But yeah, pretty much I'm just playing on the Xbox 360, which is most what I play my older games on. I'm considering like doing a whole thing where I can stream on there and play with subscribers who are on Xbox. It's been something that's been asked about 100 times, so I am finally looking into doing things like that. So that'll be great news for some people who have been asking for that. I know a couple of you do play with me on Xbox One, like Grand Theft Auto Online. Depends how much I like the movie. I don't buy a lot of modern sets. I am mostly a retro collector, but if there's something from that movie, a scene that I really like from the movie, and there's a set, and I think the set is decent enough, then I don't particularly see why I wouldn't. Like, for all I know, it could be one of my favourite, like, I could go see this movie, like, the last Star Wars movie that I enjoyed watching was Rogue One. And that's crazy, that was 10 years ago. So, in terms of me, like, I've not enjoyed anything really that they've put out movie-wise since. So who knows, I could watch this and it could be my favourite Star Wars movie and I could buy things from it. Also, I can also hate this movie as much as I hate 90% of the things Disney have made when it comes to Star Wars content. So, it could go either way. But, you know, if you're regular people on the channel, it's not a secret that I am not a fan of the Disney stuff when it comes to Star Wars. So, yeah. Like, there's the odd thing they've done, like, I enjoyed Rebels. Though, granted, it took me till the second season to enjoy it. I liked Rogue One. I liked some of Bad Batch, but it's... ATRT attack. Oh yeah. Right. Hey, how's it going? Doing a bit of gaming, then we're going to get into the shelving. I just thought it'd be kind of relaxed to sort it off this way and kind of fun to do it like this. Plus, I've noticed that people seem to enjoy giving some time to get settled into the stream and I'm not immediately doing things. And I enjoy this more relaxed way of doing this. But yeah, how's everyone's Tuesday been? Oh yeah, I forgot, you can't use Emmet to build things at first. You have to use Master Builders in this game. I have not played this game in a while. Granted, I played it on stream like probably 3 months ago on my old account, but now that I've merged both my Xbox Live accounts together, I'm just using one. I'm rebuilding up my gamer score and stuff like that. And I'm having fun playing older games as I do it. And we now go collect those instructions. Let's go. And take out those robots. So once I've done this level, right, we are going to focus our time on the shelves. We'll rebuild the pod racers. That'll be step number 1. And then, once the pod racers have been rebuilt, what we're going to do is we're either going to do the corner Ivar or the shelves back there. I am yet to decide what route I want to go with that. I might get you guys to decide. In fact, actually no, because you guys will pick the corner Ivar shelves, because that's the bit that needs the most work in here. And truth be told, I don't think today's the day I want to undertake that project. We'll work on those. We'll get those neatened up. And that'll probably just be the full stream there, all in one. Right, got to climb up this ladder here. If anyone's wondering, we're playing the Lego Movie video game. Just a little bit of a nostalgia thing as well. But once I get the laptop going again, we can do gaming streams like those we were doing them before, because those were popular. Like, I did get like a decent amount of viewership when I was doing those, so it's something that will definitely return. We'll climb up here. I forgot. The female characters in this game can do all sorts of crazy moves. Because I remember when this game came out, and I remember playing it and thinking some of the stuff you could do with the minifigures was crazy. Because in the main Lego game, I put all my time and effort into at that point was Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga and Lego Star Wars 3: The Clone Wars. So that was kind of different. And yeah, I mean, violently attack still. Right, we've got to run. Oh no, more people with rocket launchers, that's fun. Oh, by the way, I got an email this morning saying that my parcel from Australia Post, which will be the Brick Rebellion custom stuff, has been given to the Royal Mail. So it's, you know, passed through customs. The Royal Mail in the UK has it, so it shouldn't be too long. That'll be a really fun doing episodes with that. I'm not sure if I'll make an unboxing video with them. Maybe I will, like, 'cause I feel like a short like that would get some decent attention, like it would be worth doing. So, I don't know, would you guys rather I didn't show you what was in the parcel during a short and wait for the episodes, or would you like both? Because I could do it that way. If anyone's wondering why the hat and why it's a little bit dusty, there's some reasoning for that. Basically, I've not had the chance to wash my hair and stuff since I got home from work, so this is the hat I wear at work. Oh, I've seen those. I remember those being pretty cool back in the day. The Lego Star Wars bag charms were a big deal. Maybe not so much now. Now I'll count up these walls. You would say keep it a secret? Because there's probably a good like 10 episodes worth of content with them. Something like that. I split it up into episodes that make sense. Like I rarely ever, I try to avoid doing one episode per figure, if that makes sense. I got to climb up here. Hopefully by the 20-minute mark, I am not playing video games. It's not that I don't want to, but it would probably make a bit more sense stream-wise to get back onto the Lego. But this is just what I'm doing to start it off. Alright, we are out of like the main kind of jail kind of police station. Ugh. Again, volume's off. I am not screwing around with copyright claims. We'll do the master builder thing here that you can do. But let's just say it will fill out a good chunk of the stand. It will look good. Take out them robots. Right, do another bunch of building things. Oh, right, I gotta break some things, alright. I also want to address something that got left in a comment section a little while ago that I have not yet responded to. So someone saw the Complete Saga thing, really liked the idea. Oh yeah, that usually happens. Basically, people were saying, right, you're collecting the Complete Saga, would you do it for Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars, Lego Indiana Jones, or Lego Batman? So those are some interesting ideas, right? Are they realistic? Not really. See, the Lego Indiana Jones, right, is kind of possible. I've seen people make a lot of the customs for that, and a lot of the figures in that game were real. Like a good... Lego Batman's definitely possible. I've seen people do that. That's something that's been done at least once or twice. Lego Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars does use a lot of real figures in it as well, but not that many. Like, the point was, like, I don't really know if... I've not really seen people making the customs for that. Like, barely any. At least that's from what I've seen. Time for the final bit of this mission where you ride the motorcycle. Rule 143, drive safely. No. Just to show you what the hell we're doing. Is the game giving me control? Have I been given control back, you know? Yes? Oh, yeah, I forgot you pause are and you jump between vehicles that are moving. Gotta shoot all these cop vehicles. I've not yet filled out that master builder while I'm playing this game. I don't know, I played through this game, like, very briefly when it came out. I didn't complete the game, like, oh, we're talking about the Lego Movie video game from 2014. Like, I played through the main story, but I didn't bother to do any of the other stuff in the game. So maybe I'll change that this time around. And I'm dead. Take down. That was cool. That one was jumping midair. Because in this game, it's not mini kit. It's like Lego, like minifigure legs, basically. Or the, what was it in this universe? The honey, where my pants thing is essentially what you're collecting. And that's the fourth one taken out. Do I get the pants piece? Oh, that's bit. Ah, come on. It's dying. But yeah, once I'm done here, I'm gonna pop in another game that wants to update. Since I've connected this thing to Xbox Live again, it makes me update certain games. And well, that game's doing the whole updating thing. By the way, we won't be playing it on stream. I'm gonna get the table out. We're gonna get to the pod racers, and we're gonna get fixing. Just so we can have that over and done with. And I fell in the middle of traffic. Yay! Also, we're not far off being half an hour in. I'm still doing the gaming session. I suppose there's nothing wrong with that if you guys are enjoying the stream. Got to jump between all these cars. Oh, there we go. There's loads of enemies. Whee! Oh yes, there's a military truck here with a giant cannon. That makes sense. But yeah, if you're new here, normally what we do is we organise Lego, but I happen to be doing this and I was waiting, and I thought, you know what, we'll play this for a bit while people get into the stream, because I know a lot of people tend to join around the 4:30 mark, so I thought, well, you know, 4:30 onwards, I thought, we'll start the stream at 4, just do an opportunity. £10, really? Hmm. And yeah, the helicopter is down. Hey, Clone Chronicles Trooper. And I fell in traffic. That happens a lot in this level. You know, falling in traffic, basically. There we go. I fell in traffic again. That's not fun. It's, what's the Homer Simpson quote? It's even more painful than it looks. But in the next couple of days, I will have some really good streams. See Friday onwards. That's where you want to be looking. By the way, the next week or so, I'm planning to get the room tour video out. I know that's a bit ambitious, but that's what we're aiming for. See, this year, I'm not really able to bring the big Clone Army video. Mostly old sets. Like, mostly 2005 to 2013, around then. Like, it's a nostalgia thing. I've not looked at the whole May 4th lineup yet. I've seen the N1 Starfighter. Like, I don't know if I'll buy it. Like, See last year's May 4th UCS set, right? Django Slave 1. I bought that before watching reviews of it. Just the look of the thing. I don't think I'll have the Clone Army video out this year. Or at least not in May. I may have to change the date that I'm doing it. See, over the last year, right, I need to see how many clone troopers I actually have. Because I don't know if I've grown it enough to the point where I can justify the video. I've definitely grown the vehicle count. I've bought a new gunship in that time. I bought a V19 Torrent since the last one. I've bought an 80 AP. Those are the ones off the top of my head. I'm looking around the shelving. So I might possibly do one, but it depends how many minifigures there is. And I'll be honest, I don't think I went nuts buying clones this year. Or in the last year, because I do it every May. But you might get the room tour video instead. If I had the space and I think I found a way to do it, I want to do a video that I've not done in quite a few years is the collection videos. I got the achievement, by the way. The achievement unlocked is darn, darn, darny, darn. Bad cop quote. Right, so I'm throw the game in, right? That needs to update. I am aware, I've never been to any of the brick events, but the host here in the UK, but I really want to. I might do it this year finally. Because it'd be interesting to go to. Second of all, the content that could be made by going to something like that as well. Is like I also need to look at like, what, that is a good video. And or live streams that can come from that. So it'd be very worthwhile for me to look into. I'm just gonna pack up my chair here. It's a foldaway camping chair is what I sit in for gaming. No, it has been something I've put some thought into. I might go to something this year. I don't know. Right, let me quickly get this back on my menu, saved, and then we're going to pop in another game that needs to update. Quick game, save and exit. Yeah, sure, man. That works. Right, let's do this. So, a lot of 360 games now I've been putting them in because I've reconnected the console to Xbox Live so that I can get the achievements and stuff on my Xbox One account. A lot of them I've updated or whatever over the years, so a lot of them I'm having to wait and let update, which, you know, isn't the worst thing in the world, I suppose. So I'm going to put this in, I'll go to the toilet, and then from there I'll show you what we're going to do. And my room is still a complete mess sets wise, but that's because we're doing some moving / we're renovating, like changing this room up a bit. So that's gonna read. I'll come back. I'll be back in one moment. Right, so I'm back with the update. So if you hear the noise, that's what it is. Hey, how's it going? Alright, so here we're at. So here's what needs doing. So obviously we still need to organise all of this, right? This is part of the work in progress. We have managed to get most of this semi-organised. Yeah, it's alright, Clone Corner. Come down here. So we need to rebuild the pod racer that's down there. These shelves are like a couple. But Empire Strikes Back one is kind of where it should be, but needs work behind here. We are getting there with the rebuilding of sets, organization, fixing whatever needs fixed. We are kind of in a good place with all of it. Of course, that I think we're gonna save that for like a Saturday stream. It's a day when I'm not at work would probably be the best way to. Uh, Apparently that's happening, and the best way to deal with that. So I'm gonna get the table out and stuff like. I'm gonna quickly fix some other things for that while I talk to you guys, and then we're going to get that sorted. One moment, I'm gonna grab something. Open a window. It's a warm day today. But that is kind of where we're at in regards to things. It is a big improvement. Granted, we've been at this for nearly 4 weeks, but that's in between me being a student and working and, you know, other stuff including that as well. You know, I'm not free to do this all the time, unfortunately. It'd be great if I was. Like, see if this ever became my job. That would be cool, but I don't at the moment see that happening. Everybody just spams the subscribe button. But you know, all jokes aside, it is going really well as to where we're at. I'm just taking some things through. So yeah. I am back. I ended up making a sandwich. But let's get the table out and get rebuilding. Hopefully the pod racers go together quite easy. Because the last I checked, they don't require a lot of work. And of course, before we go any further, I will quickly see what the update progress is on that just so we can turn it off. Still updating. Cool. Because normally it is quite fast. Alright. It's all good. So I'm just going to put YouTube on in the background while we do this, but hopefully I can get these together without any issues. I'm not going to do the stuff yet to fix the Gungan sub, because like I said, that's going to be a short. But provided I didn't screw up or put any pieces in that bag, which for me, who knows, I might have to dig into anyway, but hey, if it can be helped, we'll try not to. Let's get it. So both pod racers took damage. It was mainly Sebulba's one that got damaged, to be fair. I'm going to change the angle to see that you can't go see what the hell I'm doing. Hopefully that makes a bit more sense now. Right, let's get into this.
Not the Game Gear, Jesus Christ, no. That's right, everybody, I'm slandering the Game Gear. Because I'm brave. I'm not necessarily much of a fan of the Sega Game Gear, and I don't think Game Gear stuff is all too fun to collect. Now, when I'm in the right mood, it's kind of fun, but at the same time, I just find the Game Gear to be a sloppier, not as compelling version of the Game Boy and also the Sega Master System. From my perspective, most of the games that I would want to play on the Game Gear also released on the Master System and were far better on the Master System. And I personally find the Sega Master System to be a far more interesting.
So hopefully we can get this together quite quickly. That's the plan.
Oftentimes less appreciated
There we go, the main model.
NES. And I found the fact that Sega put out a lot of the games that they also put out on the Sega Genesis on the Sega Master System to be really cool. It's kind of like you're discovering this weird remake version of the same game on a home console. Like, oh, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker had a Sega Master System release. That's really neat. Now, while the Game Gear definitely has
Right,
portability
so,
as a cool
with the main
factor,
body of the
the
set
Game Gear
here,
was most prominent while
got to
the
connect
Sega
that
was still going on. And you can
into
kind of
these
tell
giant
looking at it
engines.
that they pretty much just turned a Sega Master System into a portable console, which
See,
is
kinda
really
just like
cool.
that.
The fact that, like, wow,
Fixed to
it's
that
a
side
portable
already.
Sega Master System.
The other side, however,
Playing on one of
God.
these things is horrendous.
That's not the fun. That's the
Originally,
not
at
fun
the
part.
time, the Game Gear must have seemed like the obvious choice. Oh my God, a lit up screen in full color, all of that. But one, I can't name a single Game Gear game that I'm like, damn, you gotta go out of your way to play that. It's like, yeah, Sonic Triple Trouble is cool. That's an exclusive game on the Game Gear. You got Virtual Fighter Animation. That's kind of a cool release. Phantasy Star, Shining Force. There's a Mega Man on Game Gear. There's some neat stuff.
This is a set
It's
that
all
tends
kind
to
of
not be
just
the strongest, I will
on
admit. So
Game Gear. It's not really neat
the fact that it was one of the ones that fell
at least
apart
to
during
me.
the
And
whole
with most of the
switching up and
cool
moving
games
things
on
around,
Game Gear
I'm
also
not
released
completely
on the Sega
surprised.
Master System, why the hell would I put up with this? Because
I'd have
these
been shocked if it
consoles
didn't
taste like
break,
milk.
to be completely
The
honest.
screens on these things are awful. They're unreliable. Half the time, games just don't work in this thing. If you want to use an actual Game Gear, you need to get a mod. And if I got to mod this thing to enjoy it to its best capabilities, I might as well just get a Master System and play most of the games on there, because playing all these Game Gear games that also released on Master System, the Master System version is always better because they didn't have to zoom in onto the screen like they did on the Game Gear, since, you know, the screen was
Doing a bit
smaller.
of dusting
So
to
I'm
it
not
as
super
well.
interested in collecting Game Gear. Then what am I interested in? Well, I think that's the perfect start to discussing this kind of thing. What am I not interested in compared to what I am interested in? So I think collecting Master System is cool, just because the Master System seems like this weird alternate reality platforms. The Sega Master System did not do well here in North America, and then Sega moved on to the Genesis. But the Master System, strangely, did really well in Europe, and specifically Brazil. So I'm always like shocked to see all the weird games that actually ended up releasing for the Sega Master System. So the Master System ended up being kind of like, okay, you get a lot of the games that you ended up getting on Game Gear. You get a lot of games that were always only exclusive to the Master System. You get a lot of weird-ass D-makes of games, like Street Fighter 2 is on the Master System. You got Mortal
Right,
Kombat
so obviously
3,
there's still like one of the main... Oh, wait, no, it's hanging off the belt. Alright, found it.
Soul. It's just such an interesting console to me. One that was a failure, but also wasn't in a lot of regions. It just has so many releases that don't have a ton of information about, and it's like you gotta seek them out. It's like a little treasure hunt to find this obscure part of video game history that is made by one of the
Sorry
most
about this, I'm just trying to
iconic
make
video
sure
game
this is
companies of
completely
all
put
time.
back
And the
together,
console itself is like
and then
a
we'll go from there.
NES with a far greater color palette. Like I said, it
Anakin's
feels
Pod
like it's
Racer
this
took a hell of a lot less
reality
damage. I think like
video
2
game
things fell off of that.
That is what is so cool about it. And that is what is not that cool about the Game Gear in comparison to me. This doesn't interest me all too much. It isn't as fun to explore the Game Gear as it is to explore the Master System. The Game Gear to me feels like Sega's by-the-numbers portable console during the Genesis era. The Sega Master System is fucking weird. That's what I like about it. But does the best console to collect for need to be weird? Or does it need to be more economically viable? Does it need to have like a ton of games to buy? Or do you want to have a much more limited library so that it's easier to collect as much as humanly possible? Because the best consoles to collect for need to have a lot of like-minded attributes and whatnot. Ah, crap. That reminds me of somebody who paid us. Here you go. This video is sponsored by Whatnot, a live-action app where you can bid on and win video games.
There we go, so it's back on the stand. I think that may have just been my door going, or like my doorbell ringing, so I'm gonna go check that,
Here
but...
I am getting some original DS consoles, and man, you can tell I was having a blast. If you use my link here or scan this QR
But yeah, we are...
you'll get $15
This is good.
off
I thought there may have been more problems
Great
with
game
this.
in anybody's game collecting journey. Also, if you follow my account on Whatnot, you'll be automatically entered to win $500 in Whatnot credit. And look at all the stuff you can buy with that kind of money. Whatnot is a cool place to buy buy really anything you could possibly imagine. And I found it to be a very fun way to purchase some retro video games, so I'd really recommend it. Remember to click my link here to get $15 of Whatnot credit and to follow my account to automatically enter the giveaway for $500 in Whatnot credit. And $500 in Whatnot credit. Imagine what you could buy with that kind of money. 250 games valued at $2 a piece. Only on Whatnot. Yeah, so I enjoyed using Whatnot. I'm not buying one of these on there. Listen, when it comes down to what I like collecting for, obviously, anything. I don't really care. But there are obviously certain consoles I prefer collecting for compared to others. And sometimes it can just be what I'm in the mood for. There are some times where I'm feeling a little freaky and kind of like getting a lot of Atari junk. And I will maintain, I think Atari is fun when you're actually using as authentic hardware as possible. Using actual cartridges.
Alright, it's all good. Right, let's get back to it.
Atari games on a compilation disc. I mean, yeah, it makes sense to do that. You can do it. But it's like, buddy, how long am I actually going to be engrossed by these games? To get the most out of the Atari experience, I think you kind of need that crafting element of that dog shit controller. A stack of cartridges, you just, go through one by one. Play each for like 5 to 10 minutes. Because that's what these games do best. You're not going to be sitting down getting engrossed into an Atari game for a super long time. Atari almost is made to be collected, not played as if they're modern games. Playing an Atari compilation disc on the PS4, Jesus Christ, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. But at the same time, I'm not really getting excited collecting and adding new Atari stuff to my library.
So with the exception of like what? Maybe One Piece that I don't have immediately handy, that'll be in the bag. That is the Pod Racer Fixed. Other than this One Piece I gotta put on here.
In collecting random butt PC games, you funny little Europeans, you'll be talking about some crazy ZX Spectrum game you were playing, like Moly Christmas. And I'm sorry, I just can't get that into this. And even going to a lot of free NES stuff, you go on to the Intellivision and you got
there we go.
And Shark.
Just gotta make sure like, that it is 100% good to go.
You can definitely see the story they're telling in the context of the history of video games. Like Frog Bog is like an Intellivision version of Frogs and Flies on Atari 2600.
Right, there we go.
You can kind of tell.
So that's fixed up. There's one piece I do not have to put on it. It's in the bag of parts. So I bagged up pretty much everything that fell off things and some that didn't. It's this bag here that we've been going through on the live streams. There's a stand here for Anakin's, so Anakin's Pod Racer is up the back.
A Castlevania or a Mega Man. Obviously a lot of franchises that were on Atari and ColecoVision and Intellivision are still relevant today, but the games for those platforms are so arcadey and high score focused that it's kind of hard to sit down and get the exact same kind of enjoyment you could get out of more of a modern game. Whereas with the NES
that happens quite frequently. These pieces is just the way they attach using the grills, they can fall.
And get a similar amount of enjoyment you would get from
that I am. And that's all thanks to people watching these streams. I appreciate it.
It's kind of tricky. See, I think about 20 years ago, hell yeah, the NES was cool as hell to collect for. But at this point, I find that a lot of cartridge-based 8-bit, 16-bit games, a lot of these games have been re-released to smithereens, and they are easily playable via emulators, literally every single place you go.
So these two are back together, that's sorted. They can go in the Phantom Menace shelf. The only two that I actually properly had to rebuild. The Gungan sub, like I said, I bought some new parts for, that will be explored.
The feeling that while I could emulate this, it is just that much more compelling to get the actual case, open it up, pop the disc cartridge in, and play with the actual controller. And there's no weird emulator bugs or glitches or whatever. With games on NES and Super Nintendo, a lot of the games on those platforms
Right, let me check this update again.
Really expensive for something that, yeah, playing on an emulator.
It's still at it. Wow.
It's like regardless, if you're on team emulation or you want to play on original hardware, collecting these games while
So I'm going to move the table a little bit. I mean, gentle, because you can see them shaking.
As it once did. It still feels awesome to get the actual cartridge. But when you see certain game cartridges going for like hundreds and hundreds of dollars, sometimes over thousands, the ROM is so easily accessible, or potentially there's like an official re-release on modern storefronts, whatever, it just becomes harder to get that excited to collect
give them a clean.
some of these systems. Well, then what about modern systems? The Nintendo Switch, I think, has some of the biggest, most passionate game collectors of any modern system, which it's a shame the Nintendo Switch 2 went the way it did. Game key cards are a bit of a cock blocker, but at the same time,
Alright, let's get these onto the shelf.
It's a little more manageable to get, actual Nintendo Switch 2 games on a cartridge. Why do I say that? Well, Nintendo Switch 1, I think it is physically impossible for anybody to buy every Switch 1 game ever. With the Nintendo Switch 2, the fact that you don't have to worry about game key cards and you just are trying to go for games with the game as a whole on the actual physical cartridge.
Sorted. So,
kind of manageable if you're going
another one that needs to be fixed is Obi-Wan Starfighter. We can quickly throw that together, I suppose.
There are numerous games on Switch 1 that have gotten like multiple releases by multiple companies. But then in addition, with how modern games work, this is a problem that I have with, Switch 1 and also PS4 to PS5. But it's this feeling that, the previous generation of releases is just kind of like pretty disposable. And I think an element of game collecting is kind of thinking to yourself, like, okay, what are my standards? Where do my
I do got to
goals
dust
lie?
this as well.
Because I have decided, even though I have all of the Switch 1 games physically that got Switch 2 editions, I would just buy the Switch 2 edition physically, because I don't really want to waste money on the digital version. I would just rather upgrade to the physical game, and then that's it. I don't want to waste any money, so I'm just going to spend $60 instead of $20 on an upgrade pack. So then I have a physical copy, so then I'm not wasting money on something digital. I swear, I'm not stupid. So now at that point, my Switch 1 copies of those games are pointless. I should probably just get rid of them. No, I'm not going to do that, because I'm an idiot. And there's also a lot of PS4 games that got PS5 versions later down the line. I recently picked up a lot of the Resident Evil games that released on PS4 on PS5 because there was like a Black Friday deal about them. So now I have Resident Evil 7.
I think we're pretty much done doing puzzles on the background.
On PS5.
I will I'm just going to quickly, consistently check these updates. See where things are at. One moment. Yes, that thing's still running the update. So, I mean, we'll just continue to stream for a bit longer. So, I'll show you where we're at. So, now that we got all those kind of fixed up, which I'm happy about, that's all good. That's sorted. We're now going to come over and we're going to do what's behind me, because I don't like how that's sitting. Initially, I did like this organization until I bought more games. That's kind of what ruined it, to be honest. So, we're going to get that sorted.
Fundamentally, they are the exact same games. They just run better on PS5. They look a bit better. The box arts aren't even different. So, why would I keep the PS4 versions then?
We're going to pack up the table as well.
Unless I'm making maybe a video where I want to compare the differences between the PS4 version and the PS5 version. See, unfortunately, I think I'm constantly looking for this possible solution here where it's like, oh, I can just buy these modern games and that's it. I know I made a good investment. And then 5 years later, the better version releases. I'm like, well, I think to an extent, you just have to accept that, like, no matter what you end up buying, a better version of that game that you buy will probably come out at some point. And that's not just a video game thing. I gotta think about that with phones and whatnot. Like, oh my god, my phone isn't working very well right now. Maybe I should upgrade to a new one. Well, they're probably gonna put out a better one later down the line. That's always gonna happen. So it's just like, just make a decision. Do you want a new phone now, or should you wait? I will say, I do think the Switch One is fun to collect for, just because you have this big-ass wall of red, which, while it isn't my favorite thing, it does kind of make it feel like, oh my god, I'm adding stuff to the family. I don't really care for the red much, because as I'm looking at my Switch library right now, it's hard to see all of the games. It just looks like one big blob. Compare that to looking at the two games, which all have names defined, and it's much easier to kind of tell from a distance what games you have. But as much as that's a con with Switch One, I also think that's a pro, because I do think it kind of makes all of the games look kind of cool all together. The fact that it's all red, and I think the fact that it uses cartridges, there's something a bit more substantial feeling about having a game on cartridges.
Let's put some of the stuff away before we get on to the next phase of the project.
Switch One is what the hell these developers had to do to get some of these games running on
1 second.
One. That is fun. That is an element that I kind of like about the Sega Master System. It's just seeing what they did to make this Genesis game work on Sega Master System. I think one of the coolest, stupid things I heard was the fact that, like, Hogwarts Legacy on Switch 1, they had to cut out chunks of the game and pretty much stop it from being an open world game on Switch 1 and just add, like, weird loading screens to things to make the game work. I don't know. Like, when you look back at these games from, like, 20 years from now, that'll be way more interesting than talking about the actual game on PS5 or whatever. But I do think something that makes collecting for modern consoles very
Right, I am debating, do we do this now, or do we save this for a stream tomorrow?
So it's unfortunate, but I think that just kind of makes it,
because we're not going to touch the shelf that you're sitting on. That's the rounded IKEA Ivar shelf until the weekend.
In the way I've always wanted to. Now, of course, yeah, Nintendo has closed their online stores, but for the most part, you can still download purchases you've made. You just can't make new ones. So I do think a lot of games that require updates and whatnot, I think a lot of those games will still be okay for the most part. And probably by the time that you officially can't do anything with these games,
It's still downloading. One second. All right, 1 second. Right, no, it's changed. Now, I can now actually see the full download bar, so hopefully, because it was just the way it was going, like, this was kind of, so that should help. I'll do a little bit more general organising and cleaning, but I don't think we're going to take the live stream to do the back. That way because I don't really have anything to do in the stream tomorrow. Basically, I'm just making sure I'm sorted for content as well. At the same time as doing everything else, because you got to do that. I like to do my daily content, my streams and my shorts. Granted, I went maybe a couple days without making a short, but you get the point. There we go. So I'll just left it up so I can keep track on it. In fact, do you know what? We can still put that video on in the background because I found that kind of interesting. Where did I put the goddamn remote? I've thrown this down and it's went somewhere random, hasn't it? But yeah, this is all the parts we've still got to put on set, still got to organise. So that's upcoming stream content basically. You can expect that for the next couple of days. But I'm looking to try and get like one of the really long streams in. I think the longest I can really do realistically on my phone is 3 hours. Until we get the laptop going, that's kind of going to be the limit. Now, that's the bag for the chair I use. It's a hammer. Used for felonious activities. Right. But yeah, if I do this, it's easier. But I'll be getting joined in some upcoming live streams by Terrakiller T1. So that'll be great. He's appeared in quite a few. He's not appeared for probably well over 100 streams, but he has been in a few of these. He's also been in some of the main videos. He'll be in the video that I've got going up soon. Or he is in that video, I should say. Seeing that's an already filmed, already sorted kind of thing. Right, so what else realistically is I do? Just this here, and then that'll be it. But hey, look, I've enjoyed doing this stream. I like getting these out as frequently as possible. Maybe not my best one, but I mean, look, we got the pod racers fixed, so I'm happy with that result. I've opened the window, I'm just letting it kind of smell a bit better in here. Doesn't smell bad, but you know, nothing wrong with improving it. But I will see you guys in tomorrow's live stream. I'll try and get another short out or two. But hey, guys, we're not far off. We're going to see another 200 subscribers and we'll build this. The 2008 AT-AP. It's kind of part of the backlog. Along with all those sealed 2010 sets that I bought. See you guys tomorrow.